Hello, and welcome back. Today I'm bringing you, as I said, a macro video. It's probably a little bit later than I said it was going to be because I got caught up doing some stuff. So what we're going to be looking at here is we're going to look. So why do we use macros? What is good macro? What are some basic macros? How do you create your own macro? Because I find a lot of people, they like ask for macros and they just copy and paste them in, but they don't understand like what makes them work and things like that, and don't know how to necessarily do them themselves, or they don't know what's good in a macro and what's bad in a macro. I think the most common thing that we find is when people think of macros, they think if they know about PvP, they think, oh, arena target macros. That's always like the thing that gets said, but nobody like. There's a lot of people who don't use them because they like can't be bothered setting them up or can't be bothered getting used to them, or they think of the Swifty one-shot macro, like, oh, just put everything in one button and then like press it and do loads of damage and shit like that. So, but when you're thinking about PvP and macros, a macro is supposed to make the game easier for you to do, less buttons that you have to press, smoothing out stuff. So one example of that, which is the main one, which people are gonna see if you have, is arena target macros. Now to get into that, if we look at here, we got arena target 1, arena target 2, arena target 3. Now what these will do is, on the frames that you'll get on the side of your screen, it will have the 3 classes that you're going up against in a 3's arena, and or in a 2's arena, the 2, and arena on target 1 will be the top, 2 and 3. Easy. Now, how you set them is just go / target arena 1, and then / target arena 2 / target arena 3. Now, you want to bind this in a place that's easy for you to get to, but also not too difficult to like do. So what I tend to do is I've got down here, I have them bound just over here, as well as I have my set focus. So that will set the focus to a person, but if you're using Gladius, you can just right click on their portrait and it will set them as the focus. That's going to be important for later when we show other more advanced macros. So I set them down here and I've got them bound onto Control 1, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4. Now, what I do is, because I have a macro mouse, which is like your Razer Nagas, your Corsair Scimitars, stuff like that, which are really useful for WoW PvP and just WoW in general, is I bind one of those to Control, or of course you can just press Control on your keyboard. So use 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 for the set focus. So all I need to do is press one button on my mouse. There's Control, and that will be setting that target. So if I click here and I press the Control bind on my actually we'll have to click in because this is this is where your focus comes up. Right here on the boom, there's your focus. So to change the focus to this guy, I just press the Control, which is on my mouse, and 4, and he sets him as focus. If I tab to the other person and press the same thing, it changes the settling of the focus. That's going to be really important for later when we're setting our focuses for, say, focus kicks, focus storm bolts, things like that. But all of these are going to be fairly easy to use and really straightforward. Alright. Pick it up. Bring my macros up. We've got a screen region here so we can give a bit of an enhanced version of showing the stuff. Now, when I talk about macros and what's a good macro and what's a bad macro is something that you're trying to force it to do too much. Like, you have lots of cooldowns in it that all have different cooldowns on them. Not good. Say, if I put my avatar and my battlecry into the same one, so it's just one thing and I don't have the tooltip showing either of them, I can lose track of my cooldowns. I can't pop them independently because sometimes I want to pop avatar before I pop my battle cry, because I pop my avatar to maybe get out of a route, get some damage in, and then pop my battle cry because I might be running Pain Train and I might want to like burst my my ally with it or I just don't want to use them all at once. Another terrible macro which some people do is they bind defensive cooldowns into offensive cooldowns. You never want to do that because you want to be able to pop them independently, as I just said, or any CC or things like that. The more you bind in, the more complicated the macro is, the less it's likely to work as you want it to. So, simple macros, which are ones like here. I have a really nice macro, which is cancel aura bladestorm / cast execute. So this is when I'm bladestorming and I need to cancel the aura so I can execute, because I can get a kill, and instead of having to click off my aura of bladestorm, I just have to press one button, it'll cancel it, and then do the execute. I have this same thing for my kick and for my charge. So what it does is it just removes the aura so I can get what I need to get done. It's the same with stun, you have those things. So it just stops me from having to click off something, or not even being able to click off something and then missing a kill opportunity. And it's easy. Now, thinking of other stuff, which brings in focusing, is my stun and a focus one. You can use this for cast things. You could say if you're a destruction warlock and you wanted to have a chaos bolt that would go on your target, and then you could also have it on your focus target, so you could swap like really easily, or you had CC that you'd want to put on the target or a focus target, you can do that. You can do this with Hodge, you can do this with Stormbolt, you can do this with Grip, you can do this with a whole lot of things that you just want to have one button, a control modifier that just changes it to your focus target, which is normally you have your DPS target and then your healer, or say your healer and the DPS target, whichever one you want to do. So here we're using what is known as a control modifier. You can change this modifier here to Alt Shift anything that you want, and it will what it will do is the second line of this will be whenever you hold that down and then you press it, it will go on your focus. And another point to add is this show tooltip means we have it there, so it will show the cooldown on the macro that we have placed, and it will also show the tooltip of the Stormbolt. So if I hover over it, it'll tell me exactly what it does and like the range and everything like that. And that's just useful so you don't have a bunch of random ass looking stuff and you're like, oh well, I have no idea like what it is and when's the cooldown and stuff like that, unless you like played it enough that you know exactly what it is. So here we have the Stormbolt. So of course we have the cancel aura bladestorm on it as well, because if we desperately need to stun, then we need to stun. And we're going to set our focus to this target, and we're going to go for him. And here, so we're targeting him, but we're going to go use the control modifier, and we see it targets the other one. And that's without me actually targeting him at all. So if they're watching the targeting, he will think that he's not being targeted. This works really well for healers, because they're looking to see who's targeting them to see if they're going to get any CC. So if I'm running from this area here, and I want to get CC on that guy, I can use the control modifier to then stun him and immediately connect here. Whereas if you were trying to get CC on him, maybe you click target at him and run towards him, it makes it really obvious, or you have to tab target and you try and like show that way and then you do it, they start playing defensively. But if I'm attacking him and run towards him and I just press my macro when I'm obviously like kind of facing him, you don't even necessarily need to be looking at him, you need to be kind of like shoulder facing. But that you can do that with an easy flick, and then you get the CC off and you get straight in there. This can be the same with a charge macro, where you set it so you can charge your focus or the other one. You can set it as well with your kick. So if I'm running past and I want to do my like focus kick, I can run past him and I can hold down my modifier and kick him if I want to. And so the shaman is say like a healer. If it's a shaman, he's not going to be juking because I'm not targeting him, but I kick him because I've used my control modifier. That's really important to do. Now, a lot of these are, and also like burst macros. The only burst macros that I really say that you should do is if the CD works up perfectly and you're going to be using them all the time. but being able to pop them individually is really important. But also, if you're going to use, say, a racial like Blood Fury from an orc or something like that, then you can just bind that in there, so you don't need to use it elsewhere, or trinkets or potions if you're playing in BGs and stuff like that. Now, a lot of these have been warrior ones because I do main warrior and I play that a lot, and those are all of my macros for warrior. But these arena target macros are very useful for targeting the other ones. Now, all of these can be used in conjunction with other classes. If you just think about, hey, what is something that I feel is a little bit annoying that I need to do? Like, do you want to cancel or ice block? Do you want a stop cast macro when you're a healer? So you can have it so it says, so it's like start casting, so it's like regrowth, stop cast regrowth, and then you can just get onto something immediately, or just like cast regrowth, stop cast. So you can like press it twice, or you can just like walk forwards, I guess. And then also what you can do is you can aim things at certain arena targets, so you can have 3 storm bolts if you wanted to, one on arena 1, one on arena 2, one on arena 3 if you preferred that way. That's also a way you can do it for CC, and for healers you can do it the same way. It'll be like arena partner 1, 2, and 3, so that you can, so it like targets your teammates. But if you're a healer and you're running with a team, a fairly regular team, I would seriously recommend just making macros to target specific players, because then you don't have to run into this issue where you need to constantly have a certain person as lead, so it has the people who you're used to targeting in a like a line down the side. Because there's pointless, like that effort. You could have just you could have just typed out a small macro, which is, say the healer wants to target me with dispels, or have a target me with a big heal. They'll just go slash cast, or slash target Paralantia slash cast dispel or something like that, whatever. Now, I hope these were helpful, and I hope this kind of helps with your understanding of macros. So we generally just have, what you want to do with macros is simplify your gameplay, make it so there's less buttons on your taskbar, on your action bar. It's less cluttered. See, instead of having like 2 storm bolts, I got 1, and then I have my stuff tucked away nicely there, and then just when you put these macros in, it's going to feel clunky, it's going to feel awkward when you originally start using it, but the key is practice. Practice, practice, practice. It's going to become fluid, and it'll be really good for you in the future, that you'll see yourself stunning or kicking so much quicker, your CC is going to be more on point, or if you're a healer, your dispels are going to be, like, you're going to see someone get trapped and you're going to get it immediately, so they're seeing 0 CC. Or you're going to be able to get it before, like, cross CC won't happen because you've dispelled them before you get CC'd. Say, that's like might be crucial if you're healing, say, Cupid, and you dispel your paladin before you get stunned and he sanks you, and then nobody sits any CC. That's amazing. So I hope this was helpful. Keep going through it. There's also really good guides online in text about how to do certain macros, like more advanced ones if you wanted to get into it. But those are the very basic ones which are going to be really useful. If you have any questions, join my Discord, tweet at me, comment on here. I'll definitely clear anything up that I might have missed. And I'm offering free replay reviews, so up to 2 hours worth of gameplay. If you want to send it to me, contact me through Twitter or Discord or whatever. Get about 2 hours together. I'll look through it, and I'll like write a small paragraph or page, up to a page of just review, and then I can also go through it with you, like looking through the reviews with you if you want. Just to help anyone out, because I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting through the YouTube channel. I want to give a little bit of help back, so I'll happily do that. And I've done it for a couple of people, and they found it really helpful, so I'm just putting that offer out there. Thanks, and I hope I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Hello there, and thanks for watching my video. Make sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and like if you liked it, dislike if you don't. Please comment to let me know what you want to see in the future, and make sure to come tune in and watch me on Twitch. I'm live from 12 a.m. or 12 midnight GMT for normally about 6 hours playing a whole bunch of games. Hopefully, I'll see you there.